Excuse me. All right. Good evening. Excuse me. I certainly hope and pray that all is well. I'm really full tonight. Had a pretty good dinner. A little too much, a little too heavy. So anyway, I'm gonna ask some more questions. Try to put some more puzzle together here. Okay, of my life. Okay. So this whole thing with the grouping up by various people, so on and so forth, to destroy me, take me down for money, etc., etc. Okay. So at first, initially, I didn't think that. I only was thinking about the lady that raised me. Okay. But then I was like, well, your father was doing some shit too. Okay. So when I found out about my birth mother, I reached out to her. I had a dream. This was a number of years back. I think this was in 2022. Is this 2022? No. What? Okay, I found out in 2021. But this was, what I'm about to tell you, was in 2022. So I had a dream one night. I saw a woman, a white woman. I mentioned this one time before, in a gray suit, sitting at a desk. And she said to someone, "You're a liar, and you've always been a liar." Okay. And she looked like the woman. Okay. That was my birth mother. That is my birth mother. Okay. And I was like, oh, wonder who she's talking to. I figured she was talking to my dad. Okay. So I'm just going to ask my pendulum. Okay, this is what I'm using tonight. Used this last night too. What is yes? For those of you who are new here, thank you. Stop, please. What is no? Okay. I haven't asked this. I only asked this like one time on camera, but I'm going to ask it now. What is maybe? I don't know why it's kind of stopping, jerking. Okay, it goes into a circle. Okay, thank you. Stop, please. What is I don't know? What is I don't know? I know what it is. I'm waiting for it to show you guys. Okay. I don't know if you can kind of tell, but it's like going in a diagonal. Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay. That dream that I had that I spoke of, the lady that I saw, was it my biological mother, the white woman that I saw? Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Stop, please. When she made the statement, "You're a liar and you've always been a liar," was she talking to my father in the dream? I didn't see who she was talking to. Okay, I just assumed that was the case. Okay, yes. Okay. I don't know if that was something that actually happened. Okay, just it was my dream though. Okay. Okay, why not? Let's see. I don't know. Did it actually happen, or was it just in my dream? Was that something that I'm not saying she had to be sitting at a desk or whatever, but was that something that actually happened that she actually said to him? Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Stop, please. Was this upon her? Because this is like when I first reached out to her. Was this after I first reached out to her, inquiring about her, that she made that statement to him? Yes. 6-6. Okay. So that was something that she actually said to him. Okay, according to this. Obviously not long after I reached out to her, like, hey. Okay. Did you have a black child? In 1972. My name is, by the way. Okay. But anyway, all right. I can only imagine everybody's mouth hitting the fucking floor when I found out and spoke up about it. Hey, motherfuckers. What? How the bitch find out? What? Okay, but anyway. Okay. All right. So I've done a lot of blaming here on the lady that raised me. However, I did have a spiritualist that I spoke with possibly last year. Was it last year or was it early this year? I'm pretty sure it was last year. I can't remember if it was last year or earlier this year. Okay, who said some things to me that was last year. Okay, that she picked up on concerning the situation that I honestly I didn't think about, never crossed my mind. Okay, and I've been questioning it ever since. I'm not saying she was wrong. Okay, but now let's be realistic. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask some questions tonight. I'm not saying I don't know. We're gonna see. Okay, the whole plotting on me. Okay, um, had that been going on pretty much my whole life, plotting basically to keep me down. Okay, yes. Okay, not just plotting, but actions being taken, however way. Okay, to keep me hidden, take me down, bring me down, lie on me, etc., etc. Okay, thank you. Stop, please. Okay. Um, Now I've done a lot of blaming on the lady who raised me. Ma'am, if you're watching, don't get it twisted. Okay. Um, but did she do uh, that to me pretty much all my life? Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Stop, please. All right. Did she do that in and of herself? No. Okay. Basically, I mean, it was on her own idea. I'm gonna do this to this child here. Okay. No. Okay. Did she was basically okay, like I'll ask like this. Was she instructed to do it? Okay. Thank you. Stop, please. And just out of curiosity, did she want to do it? Okay. Now I'm so glad I asked to show the maybe. I had a feeling that might come up tonight. I didn't know, it's not a big circle. Okay, maybe. Okay. Was she instructed to do it by my father? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I've asked this before, but I'm going to ask it again. Okay, the man that I believe to be my biological father, is he my biological father? Okay. So she did not do it in and of herself. Now, this spiritualist that I spoke with, she's not anybody on YouTube, she's not on social media or anything like that at all. She picked up on this. Okay. Not what I just asked, but that what she picked on what I'm about to say is what led me to what I just asked. Okay. I don't know how to ask this question. Let me think for a second. And I think I asked this question before, but I'm not sure. Let me just ask this. Did she do it to please him? Lord have mercy, Jesus. Now, these people separated when I was about 3. I don't know when their official divorce was. Okay. Did she continue to do it to please him even after he was long out of the picture in terms of not being in the home and not being married to her? To please him. Oh my God. Okay. And I would imagine that was only part of the reason. Okay. Was that only part of the reason that she did it to please him. Okay, all right. Was the other part was that there was money involved here if she would do it. Okay, all right, because that's been talked about. Okay, now I don't know. Um, he's always had some issue with me. I don't really know why. Okay, um, like my aunt told me, his sister, we used to go out every, I think like Saturday, have lunch, go thrifting and whatnot. And she said to me one time, it's just like when the girl came along to me, it's just like he just didn't love the girl. He just didn't love the girl, which was interesting that she worded it like that, just didn't love the girl. And I'm like sitting right there. Maybe she just didn't want to say he just didn't love you, which I said that to him. I didn't tell him who said it, what aunt said it. I said, your sister said, well, she didn't know what she was talking about. And I'm thinking, you're not going to even ask which one? Okay, I think it's like 5 boys and 5 girls. You're going to ask which one said it? Okay, just people just reveal themselves. All right. But my feelings wasn't hurt or anything like that. It wasn't nothing that I wasn't clear about. All right. Before she said it. As a matter of fact, when she said it, it was kind of like, I know that, at that point in my life when she was saying that to me. All right. Let me see. Now, I'm not quite sure what the issue was with him disliking me. I don't know. Whatever the issue was, okay. Did my father dislike me? Let's just put it like that. Okay. Yes, he did dislike. Okay. All right. That's all right. Okay. Thank you. Stop, please. Did he love me? Okay. No, he didn't. Okay. That's all right. All right. Stop, please. I can't imagine what that was all about. Okay. Did it have something to do with his relationship with my biological mother? Who, if I'm understanding correct, was only 19 years old. He was 26. Okay. Different time period. Uh, young white girl came from money. This black man married to this woman, but I think they might have been separated at that time, but I'm not sure. Let's ask. Okay. Was my biological father and his wife, the lady who raised me, officially separated when he was in whatever kind of relationship he was in with my biological mother? So it looks like there might have been some kind of official separation. I'm not saying anything on paper or anything like that, but not him just out there running the streets. Okay, because I do believe that, well, I already showed that I was born in the state of New York. Okay, so conceived there. All right, and my father did tell me that he did live there for a period of time. All right, all right. I don't know. Hold on. Okay. Now, when I first found this out, I thought it was just a wham bam thank you man type thing. Okay, but then okay, was my father and my biological mother in love with each other? Now, this is something that came to me, shared with me. Okay, that was the case. It wasn't no wham bam thank you man type of thing. Okay, but obviously you can't keep the little Negro child. Okay. I asked before, was there a twin? Okay, looks like there was, that maybe died either in utero or at childbirth. Okay, I asked that before. I'll ask it again. Did I have a twin? Okay, which is so interesting. Like, wow, really? Okay, okay. Did was it a girl? I'm pretty sure. I know I asked this stuff already. Okay, yes. Okay, thank you. Stop, please. Did she die? Well, oh, let me ask that. Did she die? Period. Okay. All right. For those who are new here, yes. 11:11. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Stop, please. Did she die in utero? Okay. All right. All right. Just out of curiosity, would I have been the oldest? right? I don't know. Okay, that's all I got on that. So I'm not quite sure. Okay, you know how people have this anger toward a child, but it's displaced anger. Okay, my father's anger with me, uh, was it because maybe I'm thinking there had to be a separation between my father and my biological mother, um, as a result of me. Okay, so why would you be mad at me? Why would you hate me? This is you. I don't know. You know, did you use protection? If you didn't, any kind of birth control, obviously, at some point in time, there's a possibility of someone getting pregnant. Okay, I do believe that I'm my biological mother's only biological child. Okay, am I am I my biological mother's only biological child? All right, my lady who raised me. Now, I kind of have, don't really have, but anyway, there's another person that I've never talked about with any of this, okay? And I really don't think she has anything to do with it at all, okay? We were told that me and my brother, that we had a sister. I think I was about 12 years old when I was told that she was 6, okay? Supposedly this was my father's child. Well, when I looked at her, I was like, I know that's not my father's child. I was only 12 years old, okay? And come find out after many years and whatever kind of trauma, honey, they went through, there was a test done, and no, she was not biologically his child, okay? My brother kept in touch with her. I did a little bit here and there, but not much. It's so funny how we would get fussed at, especially me. That's your sister. You don't call your sister. I'm your daughter. You don't call me. You understand? It's interesting how they put their issues off on you. Especially my dad was good for that. Okay, I guess to relieve him of his actions. Okay, to make, I guess, for him to be made to make himself feel like he didn't do anything wrong. It's all on them. It's all on them. Okay. All right. My brother did. He was a little bit more family oriented than me, and it's just like, not that I didn't care. It wasn't just her. It's just peers. Just, whatever. And I think he thought that I didn't like her. I didn't dislike her. I mean, I'm 12 years old, and then you bring this girl in my life talking about this your sister. Now I have a wonderful sibling relationship. Yeah, right. Okay. I'm meeting her very different worlds and whatnot. And it's just like, okay, whatever. I'll talk to her when I talk to her. But you're not gonna sit up there and fuss at me about not calling her. You don't even call me. You don't talk to me. And when I do call you, you're always busy picking greens. That was a joke between. It wasn't just a me thing. My brother said he would do the same thing to him every time he called. I can't talk now. I'm picking greens. My dad was a cook. Okay, he cooked a lot. He was a good cook too. Okay, but anyway. So you're not gonna make me feel guilty about your stuff, but see how people want to. There's no need for me to be you to be angry with me. You were irresponsible. Okay, you had a wife at somewhere with a son. Okay, I don't know if my brother even can recall any of this. Okay, you had a son here. Okay, uh, you get with you out of state. You get with some young girl. Okay, have some kind of relationship with her, and then there's a child where you're having sex. Okay, that's how children are made, through sexual activity. Okay, if you don't use any kind of birth control, okay, whether you put on a condom or she takes pills or whatever the case may be, more than likely that at some point in time a child is going to form. Just so happened that two were, well, only one made it from the looks of things. Okay, all right. So you're trying to guilt trip me and about your actions, and trying to make me hate myself, okay, because you dislike me. No, I don't know what that's all about. Okay, I don't know what made you think. I don't know what made him think anyway, given who she was, okay, and her family and all that kind of stuff, and her family status. I'm not quite sure in what way that he thought that he was going to be able to have a real relationship with her. I mean, she came from the type of family that you don't marry somebody for love. You marry who we tell you you're going to marry. That's who you marry. Okay. Love, what? Okay. Especially some black man from East Cleveland, from the ghettos of East Cleveland, who's got a wife and a child, broke and poor. Okay, broke and poor compared to them, and period, broke and poor. So I'm not sure what the fantasy was, okay? But it's not my fault. Yeah, I didn't separate y'all. Okay. The whatever. Okay. So I'm not gonna hold on to that guilt or anything like that. Okay. So anyway, we see now, but I can't understand why the lady who raised me, besides her probably having some disdain for me as well, because of all of that I just shared with you. Why would you do that to please a man who's not there? Apparently wasn't there in the marriage and is just not there. Okay. Even after he left. Now that's what the spirit said to me. I'm like, I don't know about that. I can't see her. But it's like there's a lot of things you didn't see. Okay. So we're gonna do a quick reading on that. So he had a lot to do with this. Okay. Now I've asked a lot of questions of people pretend to be me and all that kind of stuff. They diverting my mail and looking in my mail and all type of shit. And I get my mail, the other gifts that was left for me by other family members that had kept that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, groups and secret groups and societies and all of these type of various things, and we gonna kill her and take her down and take her money, and you gonna be her and all of blah 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 blah, all of this stuff. Okay, and did people pretend to be me and all of this stuff? And like I said, at one point, I didn't think my dad knew anything about this. I really didn't initially. Not about what the lady who raised me was doing. I really didn't. And she ain't trying to stop. But I began to realize, yeah, he may not have played a role, but he did something because of the way he treated you. Okay. I mean, he wasn't, abuse people that are I'm not saying this man was abusive to me. Just follow what I'm saying. People that are abused and in abusive relationships and stuff, it's not abuse every single day. You know what I'm saying? It might be, but I'm just saying there are times and moments and times where those people have good moments with one another. Okay, so we did have great moments with one another. I do believe, let me ask, because I don't think I ever asked this. Okay. Did my father sign a non-disclosure agreement in terms of my birth? Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, duh. Okay. What people say, what the birth certificate say? I'm like, what people paid for it to say. All right. That's what it said. Wake up. All right. Now, let me just ask. Did my biological father keep in contact with my biological mother's family or representatives of their family in my life as I was growing up? Okay. It's a nice swing. Stop, please. Did the lady who raised me as well? Did she keep in touch with my biological mother's family? Or representatives of it? No. So was there a lot of communication between my biological father and the lady who raised me about me during my years growing up? Just my life period, I put like that. Yes. That didn't have anything to do with my behavior, but about whatever this money is about. Did they talk about that and keeping me down and making sure she ain't gonna be shit and all of this kind of stuff? Okay, thank you. That was a nice big one. Okay. I asked this. I do believe this. We're gonna ask again. Did the lady who raised me lie to my biological father about me? Okay. You know, power was in her hands. I was in her house. Okay, thank you. Stop, please. Did my biological father lie to these people? Okay, my biological mother's family or representatives of their family during my life about me? Okay. Yes. All right. Well, let me just ask this. Did the things that the lady who raised me lie to my dad about concerning me, did he believe those things? No. It's funny, some of the lies, the things the lies that have been said about me. I'm like, I don't think a person with some damn sense could look at me and tell or know me for a hot second. Tell that ain't true about that girl. Please stop. Okay. But you know, people like it's fun for them. It's entertaining. Okay, even though they know it's some bullshit. Okay. Um. Okay. The lies that the lady who raised me, the lies about me that were told by the lady who raised me to my dad, were those the lies that my dad told to my biological mother's family or representatives of the family about me? Wow, I guess he made up his own. Okay. Look like he made up his own lies. Okay. And what did he make up a whole batch of separate lies about me to them? Isn't that interesting? Okay. Thank you. Stop, please. And this is about money for my dad. Okay. Thank you. But I believe it represents for him, okay, me being, these people who are money centered. Okay. You mean in this world you need money, pay your bills and blah blah blah. We don't barter for lights, gas, and all of that kind of stuff. But see, these are the kind of people who just don't want me to have shit. Okay. Well, again, like I said, want me to be looking out the garbage can. I knew she wasn't shit. Okay. Um, is that the levels that my dad wanted to see me at? Just homeless and out there on the street, just with nothing. Okay. Yeah. He would have loved that. It's unfortunate for him. Okay. Um, so it's like the money representative. How can I ask this? If I don't receive whatever monies that these people left for me, it would represent for him. Okay, me being nothing. Okay, you're right. And I don't have the money. Okay, I never did. But clearly, okay, I am not nothing. Okay, you all, you. I'm talking about these people here. Money makes you in your humanity and makes you somebody in your mind. That's not what happens here with me. Never did. Okay. Um so let me read here. Let me see what we get. Two more butterfly shuffles. Now, I know that there are people from my biological mother's family. I can't say who specifically, but I know you all watch my channel. Okay. I'm glad that you do. I don't know who you are, but I know that you watch. I kind of figured it out. Through some of the subs I started looking. I was like, this is the same with the children's thing. That was like, this is some child trafficking shit, which some of it might be. Some of it's probably bots. Okay. um but after a while, after These are a whole bunch of channels with the same children's faces. I'm like, these are these people. Now I'm not saying those children are any of you. I don't know who them kids is. Okay, I'm like they watch my channel. Okay, and I'm glad that you do. Okay. Are there people from my biological mother's family who watch my channel? Okay. All right. Thank you. Stop, please. Are any of them subbed to my channel through, fake profiles and fake channels? Yeah. Okay. I'm not saying that all of y'all, the whole family, sit down for popcorn, chion, y'all, and all of that type of thing. I'm not saying that. Right. Two shuffles. Okay. So concerning my dad, which look, as I'm shuffling, what pops up at the bottom of the deck. One more. Okay. We'll do a spread. Two of Cups. Five of Pentacles. There he is. The Emperor. Okay. Nine of Cups. Okay. The Chariot. I'm not even quite sure. I've said this before, that maybe during their relationship, however long it was, maybe that there was any real knowledge of who she was. And I think I asked that already. Right. All right. I did hear the party's over. Okay. Because I think it might have been a lot of, I just say there's a lot of good times, a lot of fun. Okay. They had a lot of fun together is what I'm hearing. They enjoyed each other's company a lot. Okay. All right. They had fun with one another. And I feel that I don't think so. I'm going to ask, did my father think that during his time when he was having this relationship with my biological mother, did he think that he was going to get any money out of their relationship? I didn't think so. I'm not even sure he, like I said, knew who this woman was in all reality. Thank you, stop please. Did he know in all reality who she actually was, my biological mother? Okay. No, I didn't think so. I don't know if she lied about her name and her identity. I don't know. Okay, of course I don't know. Right. But anyway, okay. I feel that okay. This whole thing about not being rejected. I even think that she may have been separated from her family or left, or maybe just kind of ran away type thing. Okay. An adult, what, ain't 18. Well, see, I don't know how old she was when they met. Okay. I just know about 19 when she had me. Okay. But I do think she might have gotten away. Okay. From the home environment, I'm hearing, okay, which was not blessed is what I'm hearing. Okay. It wasn't a good family environment. Right. I'm not talking about you people that are in my biological families, my biological mother's family that are watching. I'm doing a reading for myself. Take nothing personally. It really don't have nothing to do with you like that. All right. So I don't think it was necessarily a good environment for her, and she left. Okay, ran away. Okay, and I even feel like maybe being looked for, how when you have maybe trauma and stuff growing up, you be looking for love. Okay, looking for acceptance. Okay, I kind of have a feeling she might have been kind of a rebellious person, a rebellious teen. I'm hearing I rebelled against it all. Okay, I didn't want to be part of it, didn't want to have anything to do with it. I was forced. Okay, forced into a world and a realm that was not my own. Okay. See, everybody want to be rich. Everybody want to have all these billions and millions and whatnot, and these people live lives, some of them, okay, that are not the happiest of lives. Okay, you come from that kind of world, and it ain't about who you love that you're gonna marry. It's about who we tell you you're going to marry. That's who you're gonna marry. Okay, and that's who you're gonna pretend to be happy with. All right, okay. You're gonna do what the fuck you're told to do. Okay. All right. And I do feel as though, again, she may have been, I do think that she might have had some issues with her own father. Okay. Relationship wise, I'm hearing she did. Okay. I don't know. I'm hearing plummeted. Okay. Maybe plummeted into a world of self destruction. Okay. Let me ask, be sure. Am I right about that? My biological mother back then plummeted into a world of self destruction. Got the air conditioning. Okay. Plummeted into a world of self-destruction. Okay. All right. I'm hearing candy, but I'm thinking maybe drugs. Okay. Is that correct? Did she do drugs? Okay. Right. Did she have a healthy relationship with her own father? No. Okay. Right. Her parents are deceased. Okay. I am a medium. I have spoken to these people. All right. All right. Moving on. Okay. I'm seeing it here, wanting to be accepted. This one was not happy. This one was not satisfied. Kind of like that pleasant prison. Okay, that I've mentioned before, that we found was said. That's what it said about Siddhartha Gautama, who became known as the Buddha. It was somewhat, of a pleasant prison. He all the comforts, okay, all the material things, all of that money could buy, but no happiness, no home. Okay, again, maybe not feeling accepted by her father for whatever reason. Okay, all right. Maybe even her will broken. Okay. I'm hearing I have to move. Okay. I have to leave. Um, I have to go. I have to find my way. Okay. Um, like myself. Okay. And I feel that that's exactly what she did here. Okay. This emperor may not be so much my father as it is hers. Okay. All right. Let's keep on. Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay. Ten of Pentacles upright. Okay. Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay. Queen of Pentacles upright. Okay. Like this woman was not looking for. I ain't gonna even say not looking for. I mean, like her will broken. Like who she was, what she wanted. Okay, these things were never taken into any kind of consideration. It didn't matter. Okay. Again, I'm hearing where you belong is what I'm hearing. Okay, right here with us. Once again, you're going to do as you're told. Okay, you're going to live the life that we build for you. Okay, prominence. Once again, this woman came from a world of prominence. Okay, a financial prosperity. Okay, like financial abundance. But again, I feel like maybe not abundance in the home. Maybe not a lot of, feelings of warmth and love. Okay, I can't speak about her mother. Maybe she did the best she could, but I do see that there may have been some brokenness between her and her father. Okay, and I'm hearing there was a lot. Okay, this woman might have even. I feel like she wasn't heard, maybe wasn't listened to. Okay, but I do feel like she was gifted. Okay, she was gifted, could do a lot of things, had a lot of talents. Okay. I'm hearing that spilled over into a realm in a world that did not belong to her, that was not hers. Okay, maybe that running away, getting away, and going into places that, you know, in the eyes of them, she was not supposed to be. Okay, I'm hearing she could do a lot of things, multi-talented. Okay, I'm hearing multi-talented figure. Wow. And here's the child in her arms. I ain't even see this. Okay, see here all of the talents, and then there's the baby, even mothering. Okay, and if you look closely at that picture, even though the woman here, okay, is lighter skinned here, like close to white or white, the child is dark, okay, with the little afro. Okay, I'm just gonna say that's me. Okay. skilled, I'm hearing. Okay. She could do a lot, multi-talented. Once again, here we have the Seven of Wands upright. Okay, Queen of Cups here in reverse. All right, and the Devil in reverse. So far, I got 3 queens. Okay, Queen of Swords in reverse, Queen of Pentacles. Like I said, she may not have been listened to. Okay, she may even have been the type to be looked at as kind of like what you can bring to the table, skills, the talents, multi-talented, but not heard. Okay, children are to be seen and not heard. That type of energy. What can you do? Okay, what are your skills? How can you keep this family of prominence? You know, prominent. Okay, what work can you do? It's not about how you feel. Okay, and what you think. Okay, we're gonna do as you're told. Maybe even from tyrannical. Her father might have even been somewhat of a tyrant. Okay. A lot of people might have been not so much afraid of him, but it's like I feel like when he walked in the room, you know how they say, he like carried a big stick. Okay. I am here and you're going to do what I say. Okay. But I don't feel like that was just for her. Maybe even, people that worked for him, subordinates, maybe in his career field, workplace. Okay. I feel like he carried a lot of weight. Okay. It's like I've heard the word blessed twice. I feel like people really loved him and honored him and revered him. Okay. But, okay, there is some bitterness here and some scorn. Okay. And that could be her, the biological mother, okay, running away from, while other people might have looked at him, okay, with some honor and respect and reverence and whatnot, and revered him and honored him, okay, but also there was like a fear, okay. But I feel like what it caused for her, like that Bible verse that says, fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, okay. There was wrath here, okay, and what she did was got away from the devil. Okay, let's keep going here. We have the moon card. Yeah, upright. Okay, 5 of Wands in reverse. This is not what I was looking for. It's always like that, ain't it? 8 of Wands here in reverse. Okay, I do feel like once again she may have walked away. Okay, stayed away for a while. Okay, as long as she possibly could. Obviously, in her youth, her younger years. Okay, and it's like kept hidden, secret, again, maybe even shielded her identity from the world, okay, so people would not know, okay, exactly who she was, okay. Maybe some knew, some saw her, some watched her, okay, what she was doing. I feel like it might have been her peers, maybe people her age, okay, because they did the same thing. I mean, they did the same thing, okay. Like sometimes they may say, they go slumming, okay. They all walked away together. It might have been a group of them, or some friends, a couple of friends, I don't know, okay, but there was more than one, because she was determined that she was not going to be taken down, okay. I feel like her will was strong, okay. I mean, the presence of her will is very strong, maybe not strong enough, okay. I don't know, that's just me saying that, but it was. Okay. She lasted as long as she possibly could, away from the home, away from the environment. Like, they got her. Okay, they went and got her. They were not going to let her stay away for too long. Okay. What do I need to know about my father here? Okay. One more shuffle. I'm not going to stay on much longer. I'm getting tired. The will. The Hierophant. Nine of Swords. Okay, the Sun. Three of Swords. Yeah. Okay. Um, I feel like for him here, okay, or maybe for her as well, it was unfortunate that they were not allowed to go into the institution of marriage. One time when I was younger, my dad had a lot of girlfriends, okay? And I don't know how old I was. I think I might have been a preteen. And I know I wasn't a teenager. Okay. I know that. I don't even think I just know I wasn't a teenager. And he picked us up one time and took us. I don't even know, was he living, because my dad lived in, first he moved to Columbus, Cincinnati, New Jersey. And I think when he was in New Jersey, he was married by that point. So it might have been when he lived in Cincinnati. Well, he married during his years in Cincinnati, and they moved to New Jersey. But it was before he married his third wife. But anyway, he took us to meet one of his girlfriends, and he told us before we got out the car, she's white, so don't be looking funny and all of that kind of stuff. All right, okay, prepared us. And I remember I asked him one time after, as time went on, what happened with her, and he said, "Oh, don't ever get involved with no white person. Don't ever do it. Don't ever have no relationship with them." And I said, "Why?" My dad would always never give you an answer. He said, "Well, what did he say? They'll always, like, maybe betray you or backstab you, something along those lines, like, more along the lines of like betrayal. I remember something along those lines. They'll always hurt you or something like that." Okay. And with this, and I said, "Well, what did she do?" And he said, "Oh, I'll tell you later." Well, of course, he never, when you get older, he never told me. And when I got older, I asked him, he said, "Oh, we'll talk about another day." That's what he would do all the time. So anyway, I don't know what happened with that one, but of course, with all of this, it has made me think about that. Okay. But nevertheless, okay, I feel like for them it may have been unfortunate that they were not able to go into the marital, the institution of marriage, which I feel like brought him a lot of somebody here would put them in this Nine of Swords energy. I'm hearing dismay, but I'm also hearing the word denial, okay, but unhappiness and broken heart, okay, broken hearted. A lot of sadness around this situation, because the vision I had of my birth, when I first had it, I did not see who the birth mother was. I assumed it was the lady who raised me, because at that point in time I thought she was my birth mother. But I remember seeing a nurse holding me, and the nurse was just like so distraught. Okay. And she had on the whole, remember, the nurse's uniform from back in the day, and she was just looking like if this was such a bad situation, such a terrible situation. Okay. And I wonder where that lady is now. Okay. She might be dead. Okay. All right, let's keep going here. Okay. Six of Wands in reverse. Okay. King of Wands. There's that motherfucker all the time. Okay. And the Three of Wands upright. Let me see something for a second. My dad used to say to me all the time, the best revenge is living well. Okay. So I feel like that's what he went on to do. Okay. Horus, the god of glory. Okay. I feel like, of course, with this being an unfortunate situation, broken hearts, I'm also hearing broken promises, lies being told. Okay. I feel that what he did was kind of buried himself or focused more on, again, this Horus energy, god of glory, living well. Okay. Making it to the top. Okay. Doing well financially, all of that. Okay. So that one could look at and say, we finally got our piece of the pie, that type of energy. Okay, and I feel like that's what he did with himself. Okay? That's what he looked to do. He made a goal for himself, and that was it. Here we have the Five of Swords upright. Okay, the Judgment card in reverse, and the Four Swords here upright. All right. Let me see something. It's almost like it might have been a thing where he might have been looked down upon by these people. Of course you would. Yeah, you have a family. Okay. What are you doing with a 19-year-old young girl here, even if there was a separation? Okay. Um, I don't know if it became some kind of thing of a, I don't know, if some kind of battle, fight. I mean, a physical fight, battle of the wills or something. I don't even know if my biological mother's father even dealt with him personally or met with him personally. I don't think so. I could be wrong. Did my biological mother's father even meet with my biological father personally? Yeah, I don't think he would. I don't think he would. Did her mother? Wow. Okay, so she did. But he did not. He did not meet with him. Okay, if I'm understanding this, but if the pendulum is correct, he would not, I'm hearing. No chance. Okay. I will not meet with you, but I am here. I want the girl. Okay. Because I do think might have been one of them that wanted her to keep me, which I'm understanding would not have been a good thing either. Did my biological mother's father want her to keep me? Okay. Yeah. That probably, this is a question, would not have been good for me. No. Okay. Initially, I thought it would have, but as time went on and the more I got to looking at this, I'm like, no, it would not have been. Thank you, stop, please. It definitely would not have been good for her. Would it have? Okay. No. I already think she went through a lot of hell behind having me anyway. Okay. Hold it, stop, please. Did my biological mother go through a lot of hell just for having me anyway? Yeah. Whether I was around or not. Okay. Gossip. Okay. Word gets around who and what she is and all that type of shit. Okay. And what she did. Okay. But there might have been some kind of battle of wills here, or I don't know. Let me look up something real quick. Hold on. Okay, I'm here like you're not going to win. Okay, you're going to lose this battle. I feel like this may have been what was said to my father, or that was the energy. Yeah. I'm in conquest, defeat. All right. Accepting limitations, conflicting interests, like I'm saying. I think that might have been the energy that was directed toward my father from her family. This is not something that you're going to win. Like, you don't even need to try it. Okay. Give it up. Give up the thought of it that you possibly could. All right. You will not. All right. Whatever the specifics are, because I'm not really picking up, it might have caused some guilt here. All right, a lot of guilt, and I am hearing sadness. Okay, and this constantly in the back of one's mind. Okay, of what had happened between the two of them, okay? But now here she is, okay? Princess of Pentacles, okay? Child, pregnant, young, okay? Things off balance here, all right? Not as they should be, all right? All right. Okay. But what is if I can pick it up, okay, what is the direct issue with, wow, I'm here, I hate her, okay? This is the energy from my father towards me, okay? I hate her. I hate that she came into this world, okay, and blew it up or blew up, okay? I feel like, in other words, kind of messed things up, okay, in his eyes, okay? I'm hearing no. I'm asking if I understand that correctly. No, it's not so much that. Okay, that's not his problem with you. It never was. Okay, the issue with you is, I'm hearing something about outstanding. Okay, you speak too much. Okay, you talk too much. Okay, you tell the truth too much and he doesn't like it. Okay, but what about me as a child and an infant? That's a whole different time. Okay, what was that all about? Okay, all right. But there's that blew up thing again. It's like you blew up in his face. I feel like maybe unexpected, okay? I didn't have time to love her, didn't want to love her. Here we are with the Six of Cups that popped out, that childhood thing, okay? And here you are blowing things up. I do feel like that means blowing things up, okay? Maybe, I don't know, maybe a feeling of maybe him thinking maybe they could have stayed together had I not come in the picture, okay? Like I just came in the picture just without any action on their part, but that's okay, all right? I'm hearing he misunderstands things a lot, okay? So you need not worry, and I do not, all right? These are, from what I'm seeing, two bloodlines here that could not be mixed, okay, or should not be mixed or not come together, okay? These two were not meant to come together, okay? I'm not saying by the universe and all of that type of thing. I'm saying by, one family here and one family there and all of this, okay? All right, but there is a lot more to this that meets the eye. Okay, anything else? Okay. What's the point in, look, I was just about to say, what's the point in trying to keep me from having anything? Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, okay? Didn't want you to have, wanted me to be weak here. Okay, something aware about home once again. Okay, holding on to some idea or ideology, possibly, or some kind of fantasy, whatever it was. He did not think it was fair. Okay, okay, here I is. Okay, Princess of Wands here. Okay, young, fire sign. Okay, I'm talking about at that period of time with this woman here, the mother. Okay, biological mother, a home that they could not have. Okay, because of her status, I'm hearing, and what she represented. Okay, but she was not allowed to do. This motherfucker keeps popping up every time I look at the deck here. Okay, the world card. Okay, it ending, the relationship ending as a result of me and my presence. Okay, he could not go any further with her, was not allowed to. I don't know, maybe that, angered him, heartbroken. Okay, all right, right here with the Ace of Cups in reverse. What is that all about? Okay. And I even feel like with this King of Pentacles in reverse, okay, and this Four of, what is that? Swords upright. I don't know. Maybe he had some kind of being looked at again as poor, which, this is something that was a hold that kept him bound, kept him from her. I wonder if he possibly had some, because my dad always had all these business ideas and business ventures. If maybe he was working on something at that period of time that he thought maybe he could make some money, okay, in a way that would be look favorable in their eyes, okay. I don't know, let's just see, is that true? Was he working on some kind of business venture or something where he thought he could make money so that he could be looked at favorably in the eyes of my biological mother's family? Okay, I'm getting yes. Okay, but I'm still hearing that would not have worked. It would not have made a difference. And I felt, there it is. Okay, it wouldn't have worked. It would, look, there they go. Okay, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have made a difference. Okay, they did not want him there. Okay, he wouldn't have made, I don't think he would have made enough money. Definitely, in a small amount of time. But it's like the idea of at least I'm trying, at least they're seeing I'm trying, okay, to come up, to have more, to be better. I want this girl, okay? But I guess my birth kind of stopped all that. I'm hearing it did. It was not allowed to go any further. Okay. See, he didn't have much here. Okay. Trying to avoid the tower, trying to avoid the tower of losing her here. Okay. All right. I feel like in a way he did not want to live in any kind of regret here, okay? Looking to expand, okay, but finding that he was not able to manifest or not able to manifest quickly enough, okay? In a way that would be, that they would be, open to, him being in a relationship with this young girl, their daughter, their child, the child of that home, that family, okay? So I don't know, maybe that's what he's been angry at me about all of these years. I'm hearing he has. Okay, but he'll get over it. Okay, there's really nothing for me to worry about. It's kind of sad that the lady who raised me, though, well, I don't know, maybe different time period or whatever. Well, I don't know. Would continue to try to please someone who didn't want to be there. Okay, and who wasn't there. Who left and went and had a whole bunch of wives and all of that kind of shit and girlfriends and whatnot. And with all that never coming back and so on and so forth. I mean, I guess maybe the promise that he made to her was some money. That's all I'm thinking. It could have been, okay. It was a promise that he made to the lady that raised me by biological father was money, okay. If you do this, and I'm hearing her name, Beanie, okay, I'll give you money. You'll get money out of this whole project is what I'm hearing. Okay. All right. Good enough for right now. All right, that's all I got. I'm going to bed. I had me some food, honey. I had me a show enough soul food dinner. It's just like, we used to have all these chicken shacks and whatnot here, and we don't have a lot now. You know what I'm saying? Owners have died, so on and so forth. Okay. And then you go to these places and they promise you their wings. They got whole wings. They're going to be real good. We promise you they're going to be real good. We make the best in the city. And you go home, you open the box and you open the box and they look all pretty, and golden brown, golden brown and whatnot. And you bite into it and it ain't a lick of salt. Nothing. Just no flavor. Bland meat. Meat, salt brings out the flavor. Okay. Without salt, even what did the manual say? It's lost its savor. Okay, it brings out the flavor. Okay, just ain't shit on there. And I was talking to a lady about it. She said, "Well, they may do it because they know a lot of people don't eat salt." Bullshit. If you know you don't eat salt, then if you know you can't eat certain things, McDonald's don't change their menu and their recipe for people who can't eat salt. They just say if you know you can't eat salt, then you don't need to be here eating the fucking food. Okay, or maybe you could put in a special order and say, "Can you make my batch of wings saltless?" Okay, not give them to the general consumer out there with no flavor, just bland than a motherfucker. So yesterday I was out there during the snowstorm. It's so beautiful. I love being out there when it's like that and all that snow is coming down and it's dark outside. And I found a little place and I walked in and I talked to the guy and I told him the same thing. And he said, "No, I promise. I promise my food is good." You know what I'm saying? It ain't like that. I promise, bro. So they were young. His wife was back there. So he goes to tell her my order. He was in a wheelchair and he said he was whispering something to her. And I was like, "What is this about?" So he came back. She gave him a wing to give me a little wing get. They cut him up. I said, "Is it frozen?" He said, "I promise you it ain't frozen." And it was really good. Okay. I got that. And I don't typically eat macaroni and cheese, okay, because it's just too heavy. But I had some macaroni and cheese and some yams. And I'm so sick of the canned yams. Okay, if you're going to do the, I understand. I understand. But you don't, I went to one place like that. All they did was open that can, put it on the stove. and put it in a styrofoam container. And I'm like, really, really, just nothing else in this motherfucker. Okay, whatever. So I got it all last, and it was pretty damn good. I said, okay, this is good. This is good. Okay. It's still kind of new fang dangly flavored. Okay. Not grandmama and them flavored. So I said, I'm going to try one more place because I really don't be eating like these soul food dinners on a regular basis. Okay. Like when I first went on my, not my very first one, I've had many weight loss journeys. Okay. But a few years back before I went to that motherfucking gym. Okay. I was doing my own thing for like 8 months. But on the weekend, I ain't going to lie, I would go in Monday through Friday. I kept that shit to a fucking T. Okay. Saturday, Sunday, boom. Okay. Definitely Saturday. Not always Sunday, but sometimes. So it took me quite a while. It took me about 8 months to lose 30 something pounds. Okay. But never, I was happy with my pace. But nevertheless, so I said, I'm gonna try one more place. Okay. So it's this place, not far from me. They got good ratings and good reviews and everything. Matter of fact, some of the reviews that aren't so good, the owner, the way he claps back at him is so funny. All right. But anyway, I'm not gonna tell nobody the name of it because you know how they like to follow me and stalk me and shit. But anyway, so I go there tonight. I told my daughter, so we're gonna try this shit tonight. My daughter said, okay. I go in, it's one person in that running that whole shit, cooking, taking. I was like, the fuck is this? So I waited, but I will tell you, it was really good. The only thing that was kind of grotesque was the greens. They were sweet with a vinegary taste. And I was like, oh, I said, I know sometimes people may put a pinch of sugar, like maybe in their spaghetti or things like greens and stuff, like to, to cut the acidic taste and whatnot. But honey, it was just like just straight up, just I don't know, one bunch of tablespoons of sugar and vinegar. It was nasty, but the rest of it was pretty damn good. So I won't be eating like that no more for a while. Okay, but I know there's still some good soul food places in this motherfucking city. It has to be. I went to one place. Okay, I'm gonna say the name of it. I don't care. Okay, yeah, I don't care. Okay, from one of my birthdays years ago. Okay, it was when I had lost a whole lot. Being at that gym and that lady who was training me had me eating. I ain't gonna. What had she had me eating 1,000 calories a day? I got so thin it was ridiculous. Okay, I was just like, wow, I could not believe how thin I had gotten, like a fucking rail. Okay, I never seen myself look like that. But anyway, I had a little birthday party for myself. Okay, at this place called Frederick's. We went and the food was pretty damn good. I think I was turning 43. Okay, so that was 10 years ago. Listen, I went there last summer. I said I really wanted just a fried chicken dinner, nice soul food fried chicken dinner, because I'm not gonna cook all that food. Okay, I can do it. Now I can't do it like my aunts and them can on my dad's side. I mean, they some good ass motherfucking cooks. Okay, I can't do it like that, but I can, cook it. But I'm not like, why would I cook all that food? We don't eat like that. I don't eat like that on a regular basis. Okay, I'll be somewhere eating beans and rice and you understand what I'm saying? I don't know, just trying to do the healthy shit, salads and all kind of shit. I be walnut meat and shit. But anyway, so I went there last year. I go in, the place was fucking gorgeous. They had redecorated since I had been there, which was 10 years ago. It was gorgeous. The food was so nasty. And I really like am the type, because I like food. Okay. I can pretty much, it may not be the greatest, but I'm like, but I can still kind of, eat it. It's not that bad. I won't be going back, but I can eat it. I can eat that shit. It was terrible. Even my daughter, she looked at me, she said, Mommy, this is nasty. I can't. And I was just too tired to take that shit back and tell them, give me my motherfucking money back. This shit is fucking disgusting. So when I was talking to the guy yesterday, at a little restaurant, Noble, him and his fiance, they young, she back there cooking. You can see the whole kitchen is nice and clean and everything. He was telling me, how they, before they opened, they met with a lot of people who own restaurants and tried to get mentorship and all that kind of stuff. He said, when I tell you the kitchens were so nasty, he said some of them were serving spoiled food to people. They didn't give a fuck. They just wanted the profit. Okay. It's like, yeah. You open these businesses and to get the money quick to go buy your records and shine your shoes and buy all the fang dangly shit instead of taking that money, investing it back into the business, being open the hours that you say that you're open on your fucking door. I never could understand that with black businesses, okay? Actually being open and running the business, okay, and investing it back in for the long haul so that your money will be long in the long run, not quick money to buy quick shit and your shit closed down and then you owe and you're in debt and all of that kind of shit, whatever, okay? But I know because I used to wait tables, and I was telling him how years ago when I lived in Atlanta I worked at Gladys Knight Ron Wine's Chicken and Waffles. Okay, this was a long fucking time ago. I probably was about 20, I don't know, 7 or some shit like that. I cannot tell you how many times and days I want to tell people don't eat here. Don't. Okay, when I tell you, but there was some young guys, but it doesn't matter. The kitchen was nasty. The very first place that I waited tables at, they spoiled the shit out of me. That the fucking kitchen in the back was so fucking clean. I mean, fucking spotless. They did not play. The shit was, the floor was so fucking clean every day. You look like you could eat off the fucking floor. They kept their shit spotless. So when after I worked with them, I started working at some other restaurants. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. Now this was back then. I don't even know if they're still open now. Okay, this was back then. Okay, but I had seen rats running over the counter where they would fix the food. Okay, it was some nasty shit. Gladys Knight came in there one night. Well, she was in there one night. I get to work. I usually work during the day, but it was a night shift. I get to work, and she back there cooking over a pot of greens, honey, cooking greens. And I'm hopping. I'm hopping. And she said, come here, baby, and taste my greens. And I was telling her, well, working, because I ain't want her son and them yelling at me and shit, she said. And I said, well, this her shit. She said, come taste my greens, honey. So I tasted them, and they were good. She said, what you think? And I said, yeah, they good. They good. But I got to get back to work now. She said, okay, baby. But I wanted to tell her, do you see this kitchen? It's filthy. All right. But anyway, nevertheless, so that was good. That was a place on Noble, and I got to be honest with you, I don't even know the name of the restaurant. They said they were there for 3 years. I thought it was another place. It used to be another black-owned carry out there. So, because the place I was gonna go to, we were gonna go to this place. It's Jamaican. It's a lot of Jamaican restaurants that I've noticed that have opened, and this is where we were gonna go because last week we went to this place called the Rib Cage. Okay, and so when we walked in there, there's these people in there, and it was this white guy in there. Okay, he was very attractive, but he got to looking at my daughter a certain kind of way. Now my daughter is 20 years old, but of course I want to him motherfucker, So before they left out, he came to us. He said, "Y'all want some jerk chicken?" He opened his box. It was a Jamaican place right next door to it. Okay, I hadn't been there. I thought it was gonna be, because jerk chicken be really, really hot, but it was sweet. So they had a barbecue jerk chicken and a tropical something jerk chicken, and it was so good and juicy. It fell right off the bone. And me and my daughter looked at each other like, "This is good. We're gonna go next week." Well, we went yesterday. And when we got there, and I'm out there in the snowstorm, but I was enjoying it. I love being out there when it's like that. It was closed. And I said, you know what? I'm so sick of black people in these. But come to find out, from his restaurant on down the whole plaza, it was closed. They had a heating issue. Okay. And I said, well, you know what? All these other stores are closed too. So it's not that. Okay. So I was like, well, I'm going to go to this place that I know about on Noble that I haven't been to in years. So I'm thinking it was them. And I was like, come to find out it's another same spot but different place or whatever. And they were young, and so I really hope that they make it, and be in it for the long haul. I'd hate to pass by like by this summer or next year and it's like they're gone, because that happens a lot. And it's like, wow, I really hate to see that. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that they are able to be in it for the long haul. Like, like Hot Sauce Williams from back in the day, Deering's. And amazingly, for people who know Deering's, I had passed Deering's every Sunday on my way to church as growing up as a kid. I had never been to, even one of my cousins on my dad's side, she worked at Deering's. I had never been to Deering's, never tried Deering's, okay? I can't think of all the places now, you know what I'm saying? So whatever. In that many years that I think we'd have, our Bobby Hemmett came one time. And he was doing a lecture at this restaurant on Lee Road, and across the street, okay, maybe like a block up, was a Hot Sauce Williams. It was still open then, and he was saying something about the hot areas or something like that, not in terms of weather. And he talked about Cleveland, and he said, ain't Cleveland, yeah, just one of these places with whatever you saying about the heat. Yeah, he said, don't y'all got something called Hot Sauce Williams or something like that up here? And it's like, yeah, he said, that's what I'm talking about. But anyway, Cleveland staple. For those who watching old heads, y'all remember when Hot Sauce Williams was on Hayden? Okay, with the bar on one side. Remember the wings used to be 25 cents a wing, and then B&M was across the street. So I knew some people, they loved Hot Sauce Williams, but they didn't like B&M. They used to call it Bowel Movement. That shit stands for Bowel Movement Barbecue. But I like their wings. You know what I'm saying? When I first moved over to moved in my grandmother's house over there, because that's where the house was, over in that area. I would go to B&M over there, baby. They would hook me up, baby. How many wings we want, baby? I'd be like, I want 6 wings. I go home, I open up, I got like 9 to 10 wings in there. They did it all the time, okay? But anyway, I ain't gonna hold y'all. That's for the people who know about the shit here, the old heads and whatnot, okay? I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the thumbs up. One place I had never been to. And I'm laughing because the ex that I talked about, it was his grandfather's place, C's Barbecue, right? It was like a food truck. I had never been there. Okay, had never heard of it, never been there. But it was during those years, my college years, when I was away, and I really wasn't home like that, and was like hoping I never came back here. Okay, but that's so funny because I have heard so many wonderful things about. As a matter of fact, about maybe 2 months ago, I met one of their family members. I didn't tell him I knew him and dated him. I didn't tell her none of that shit. She named, if y'all watching, she named all y'all. She was just talking about how, she said, we got talking about all the chicken shacks and whatnot in Cleveland. And she said, yeah, my family had one, such and such. And I said, what's his name? She said, C's, And I was like, oh, for real? I said, I've met some of them, some of that family. She said, yeah, this one, that one, this one, that. So anyway, all right. She said, we're going to open it again. That's why I'm mentioning it. I don't know if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you all have favor. All right. Enjoy your night. Peace.